And welcome to Mornings with Mary. Today we have a special guest, Liz.
Hi.
And we are going to talk about the true cost of childhood anxiety. But if you're here for the first time, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. And as always, hit hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay. Give it a like, give it a share. You know those little buttons right down here? Click those. I need those. You want them. You want your friends to hear it. You want your family to hear it. Because the real cost of childhood anxiety, it's not the doctor's appointments. It's not the therapy. It's not the medication. It's what it really costs in life.
Yeah.
And that's pretty brutal. So, to start us off, I want to tell you about our weekend. All right? Because that's what brought this all about. So, we went away to Boone, New Hampshire this weekend. We went to the Turtle Island. New Hampshire. Sorry. North Carolina. Still two words. Whatever. Wherever we are, right? And, so Elizabeth and I were in a show. She did great, by the way. So indigochildshop.com. She did awesome. Like, her first order was a custom order, which is amazing. Anyway, not the point. So Friday, Rich had lunch, right? He worked from home. He had lunch. We come home. He is literally broken out, good morning, in hives from head to toe. So my husband was in stage 2 anaphylaxis on Friday. Yeah. Give him some Benadryl, some allergy meds, stick him in a cold shower. He's okay.
He was like the color of that.
Okay. Like, so the reason I'm telling you this is because Sarah suffers from anxiety, and so does Liz.
Yeah.
All right. So we had the trade show Saturday. So we drive up to Boone. It's 2.5 hours. We drive up there, and at 4 in the morning, now Rich had started to break out again in hives, so we gave him some more Benadryl, some more allergy meds, and we let him sleep on the couch because the loft in the cabin that we had rented, so we could hear all of his snoring. Right. Good morning. No. So at 4 in the morning, Sarah wakes up in a full-blown panic attack.
Yeah.
Full-blown. I mean, like, you can hear him snoring, and she's convinced he's going to die.
At least there was no choking sound.
No, there was no choking sounds. It was just snoring, all right? So full-blown panic attack. We have a trade show to work Saturday. Up since 4 a.m. Yes. And then it happened again Saturday night. But this time, I had to bring him to the emergency room. And we were down on this cabin on this little rickety back road that if it rained, I think the minivan was like washed off into a cliff. So Sarah was panicking.
And the road was literally only like this wide.
And the minivan is like this wide.
Yeah.
All right. So here we are in a cabin in the woods in Boone, North Carolina, not New Hampshire. I leave Sarah with Elizabeth. Both of them have panic disorders.
I wasn't panicking. I was perfectly fine. But
we're at the hospital, we're at the ER, everything's going fine, they give him some prednisone, we're just waiting for the doctor, waiting to get dismissed. Sarah is texting me having a full-blown panic attack.
Yeah.
Elizabeth is now getting pissed off because Sarah's having a panic attack.
I wasn't pissed that she was having a panic attack.
She doesn't, okay.
I was pissed off because I didn't like her whining and I didn't know how to handle it.
Right.
I wasn't pissed off that she was having a panic attack.
Right, you just didn't know how to handle it.
I don't know how to handle her panic attacks because they're different from mine.
Right, and so here I am in the emergency room with a husband who's freaking out because he's never gone to anaphylaxis before. He's not an expert, like I am on this one, on how to deal with it. I have her having a flip out because she doesn't know how to deal with it.
I wasn't quite flipping out. Okay, I kept it together on the outside.
But on the inside, and the texts were the inside, okay?
Yeah.
Which was cool. I love that we can be honest and upfront with each other. And so I'm like talking her through how to handle this. You got to keep together. You got to hold her. You got to bite your tongue. I'll be there. And Sarah's like, you have to come get me. You have to come get me. And I'm like, I can't leave Daddy alone in the emergency room.
Yeah.
So she's having her second panic attack. She's trying not to have one. My husband is in anaphylaxis.
I wasn't trying not to have a panic attack. I was trying not to,
lose your shit?
Yeah.
All right, so this
yell
is
at
what...
her.
Right, and so
Like,
this
stop
is when
whining.
This is when it hit me. The true cost of childhood anxiety disorder.
Not just childhood.
Any disorder, all right? But as a child.
Well, yeah.
Okay?
Growing up.
Growing up with it, having to deal with it, being in fear all the time.
Yeah.
You lose opportunities. Like, they asked if she wanted to go to summer camp. Now, granted, Sarah has food allergies. She said, no, I can't because of my food allergies. But the truth is, she could go to a celiac sleepaway camp. She can't because of her anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay? So they lose out on opportunities that other kids have because they can't handle the separation. Especially if they have separation anxiety. Both my girls have separation anxiety. They lose out on friends. You, as a parent, lose out on opportunities and lose out on friends because you have to keep canceling things because your child can't handle it. You lose date nights with your husband. Oh, we still have our filter on. Cool.
Yeah.
I have a rainbow cut. Let's see if we can get that off. You lose so many opportunities. You lose business opportunities. You lose, if you choose to put your child first. Not everybody chooses to do that. And they just say, suck it up, buttercup, and deal with your anxiety and up yours. I choose not to do that because my goal is to be able to raise functional adults. Even if that means as a child, they don't maybe function as well as the rest of their friends, but I think pushing them, at least with my girls, pushing them doesn't help their anxiety. It doesn't toughen them up. It actually makes them weaker.
Yeah.
And so if they're going to toughen up or outgrow it, well, school would have done that. Let's face it. It would have beat the shit out of them. They would have been tough. No big deal. It made it worse.
Yeah.
So watching Sarah go through this weekend, it broke my heart. Like, here she is listening to her daddy snore, knowing he's not dead, and convinced he's going to die. Convinced. Like, there was nothing I could say or do or calm her to do that. Yeah, Becky says it's hard to know how to help them best. It really is, because I find each time it's different. It's not the same panic attack. It's not the same instigator, the same trigger.
Yeah.
It's different every time. And what works in one situation may not work
in the next.
Right. And it's like
And
constantly.
it's different for every person.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Like how you should handle a panic attack with Sarah is different how you should handle it with me.
Mm-hmm. How do you, when I handle it with you, what works best for you?
Calm talking.
Mm-hmm. Weighted blankets.
Yes, weighted blankets are a blessing.
Yes. So, Zuli, if you are watching this on the replay, it has been the best thing ever. Thank you very much for the weighted blanket.
I use it all the time.
Yeah.
Sarah doesn't like it.
Which is weird.
It brings more anxiety for her because she feels trapped.
Which is weird because she's a sensory seeker, and you're a sensory avoider.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that really ironic.
It really is.
Isn't it? What else helps you? Because Elizabeth's...
Music.
Yeah. So Elizabeth's anxiety is separation,
Social,
generalized. I don't know. She has like 5 or 6 different anxiety disorders. I can't keep track of them all.
Neither can I.
So for us, it's a matter of slow exposure. Like, I was so psyched that she made it to this outdoor family trade show thing. Not only did she have a goal and produce and get there, she talked to people.
I did.
I mean, like, for Elizabeth, this is huge because her anxiety disorder and fear of rejection is so high.
Now, it took me a while to do that.
That's okay.
But once I started, I got the ball rolling and I was able to talk to people that just passed by like, hey, how are you?
Right. So in the beginning, like at the show, so I was like, okay, Elizabeth, pay attention. Listen to what I say to people. Watch my body language. And so I worked the booth probably for a good hour and a half or so, which was fine. Because
2 hours tops.
Yeah, because it gave her an idea and some guidance. So she wasn't alone. It wasn't like, here, this is yours. See you later, kid.
Yeah.
Okay. So for Elizabeth, she needs someone to do the introduction to whatever it is for her first. Even if it's like she's going to go meet someone, I have to go, let's say they're going to a coffee shop. I generally have to go and I'll sit someplace else in the coffee shop. She needs to know that she has access to get out of there as soon as possible, that she's not trapped. Because that's her fear.
Yeah.
For Sarah, she has to crawl up my ass. Just what it is. It's like if she could climb back up my vagina into my womb, she would do it. Yeah. It's kind of annoying. But for Sarah, for us, so we want to talk about the real cost of anxiety. It's that they lose out. They lose friends. They lose opportunities to go to summer camp or to take a class. And the intentions are they really want to do it. Like you say, you have one like that. Yeah, I know. It's a one-way place. It doesn't go up and down, not a two-way street there. But as a parent, the heartbreak of their want and their desire to do something. So you sign them up, they're all impassioned, they want to go, they can't wait to go. You've paid for it, you're on your way there.
And you get there, even.
And they can't get out of the car.
Yeah.
Or if they get out of the car, they're so defensive, they can't absorb what's happening. Because they're so frightened.
When you say that, it makes me think of that time I tried gymnastics. We,
bought a
all
sweatshirt, everything.
And I was all ready, and we get there, and I'm just like, I cannot do this.
Yeah. Or that LBGT dance thing. Prom thing in Plaza Midwood. And you got there. in the car.
It was in the basement of a church.
Okay, but still. It was people like you.
Yeah, but basement? Really?
That's probably what they could rent. But the point being...
The cement walls freaked me out.
Right.
Cement walls are just like...
It's like the alien hair here. It's gonna eat her. Watch.
It's gonna eat you.
I know it is, but it's watching them not be able to do what they want to do,
or being curled up in the fetal position in the car, freaking out.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're so freaked out, you don't even cry.
Yeah.
Like you can't. It's like
The fear
physically
is too big.
unable.
Yeah.
To cry when you want to cry so badly.
It like reminds me of that time when you're so frightened but you can't scream.
Yeah.
Like those dreams you have where the scream won't come out but you open your mouth.
I hate those.
It's happened in real life to me.
I know.
It's scary. So
I have dreams where like I want to yell at someone
and nothing comes out.
Nothing comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
yeah. And they live like this all the time. I can always scream. No, I've been so frightened that literally I can't scream. Like one time, Rich and Sarah and I were playing tag. She was 2. And I was running from her, right? We were in a safe little town. And I turned around and suddenly she was gone. And I was so frightened I couldn't even scream. Turns out I was just Rich and he'd picked her up and run away with her. Scared the shit out of me. I was so scared I couldn't scream. I didn't know that was possible. It's possible. Anyway, so when your child's, the real cost for me is when it costs them what they want. When it stops them from being able to achieve their desired outcome. Not mine. I'll be honest. Sometimes I get angry at it. Sometimes I'm like, well, fuck, like, I can't even go on a date with my husband. Like, one time when Sarah was 3, Rich and I had this whole date planned. I was all excited. I got dressed up. We had a babysitter, everything. She couldn't handle it. He handled it beautifully. I did not. I was pissed. I wanted out of the house. I wanted adult time. And I was like, it's being taken from me. And I was angry because so much has been taken from me because of their mental illness.
yeah.
And I have to be honest, there are times that I'm not sympathetic. I am not, like, inside. Maybe my mouth is.
Outside, sometimes you're not sympathetic either.
Yeah, that's true. I think I'm being that way.
Sometimes you think that you're just like, oh, okay, honey, let's just take it one step at a time. And
I get that. So, yeah. And
on the outside, you are just kind of like, okay, well, I gave you all the frickin' tools. Why don't you just do the frickin' work?
Yes.
Frickin'.
Yeah, like, can't you see that's
Frick
the
you,
hammer?
you frickin' frick.
Yes, like, that's a frickin' nail. Pick up the frickin' hammer. I've paid for that frickin' hammer.
And
multiple
the nail.
times. And the nails. And the frickin' wood it's in. Just pick up the frickin' hammer. And this is how I feel.
Sometimes it slips out. Sometimes it doesn't.
I try not to let it.
It depends on how long
It's been going on. Right,
for.
and how worn down I am.
Yeah.
And sometimes all these disorders, whether, like Elizabeth, they say that she's not on the spectrum, but if you read, like, autism spectrum, she fits right in there. So I don't know how they think that Anna.
Like
anyway.
an Aspie.
Yeah. So Becky says it's also hard because then I feel guilty for being angry, yes, about having to give something up. Yes. And there's, like, only so many times you can give up your own life, your own dreams, without getting resentful.
Yep.
And then you feel guilty that you feel resentful, but it's a human emotion. So then you have to, like, try to accept your resentment and put it in its place, but not make them guilty of your resentment, but they're the reason that you're resentful.
Be very difficult.
It's really fucked up.
And confusing.
Very. And it's like, I love them so much, but sometimes I just want to smack the shit out of them. And be like, can't you just...
okay. We want to smack the shit out of you too
Oh,
sometimes.
good. Yay.
It's mutual.
We can have a mutual smackdown. But it's like, can't you... Sometimes I just want to look at them and be like, can't you just for one freaking day...
Like, shake them.
Yes, and be like, can't you just get over it? Give me a freaking day.
Give me a break.
Yeah, give me... Yes.
What do you want from me?
I want to break out into song. What do you want from me? Sorry.
What do you want from me?
Yes, like, I can't
What
do
you
it
want
all.
From me? Okay.
I can't be your freaking binky.
Yeah.
Okay?
For life.
For life. I can't fucking solve this for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get it, like, when they're little. Like, Sarah still, to me, is little, even though she just turned 11. This
She's
is now,
still little.
she's still little. It's like you have to learn how to soothe
little.
yourself at some point, okay? And this is where attachment parenting can get a little gray.
Muddy.
Yeah, because you can't be their binky for everything. They do have to learn to be self-sufficient in their anxiety attack. And so it's showing them the tools and how to use the tools, including how to keep your temper. Redhead. It does happen. But the truth is, it doesn't just cost them. It costs me. Like, I've lost out, and I don't hold her responsible because these are my choices, okay?
I hold myself responsible, but she doesn't own that.
Right. I have lost so many business opportunities because every time I get this close, like I can touch it, like I can touch you right now, she has a breakdown of some sort.
It's not always me.
But in the past,
98% it's me.
That's right. Now Sarah's entering into tweenhood, so now you guys can split it 50-50. Yeah. But the truth is, I choose to put my child first. Because in the long run, in 5 years, my being here for her or for Sarah is going to be so much more important than whether or not I put this live on this morning for you. I'm sorry. You will find a resource someplace else if you need it. They can't find another mom someplace else.
I mean, we can. It's just not gonna.
It's not going to be as good. Okay, keep that face. Just say yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
There you go. You're learning. But it's that cost. It's what costs them. Like, there's no sleepaway camps where they can learn to be independent and have that experience of eating a Snickers and drinking a Tab soda every day for a week. That was the best. Like, I would get so sick at camp. And even though I had anxiety, I had a different type of anxiety and a different... Mine is situational anxiety. Yours is biological anxiety. It's sort of like the difference between depression. There's biological depression and there's situational depression, okay?
Yeah.
So my anxiety when it flares is because of a situation. So I can sort of look at that and say, okay, I can put on a different mask and push through this.
Yeah.
Where you don't have that option. Sarah doesn't have that option. I would say mine is more PTSD related. Yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to think if I ran into my ex-husband, I'd beat his ass. It's a really nice thought. The truth is, only now, like, it'll be 18 years this summer, only now can I drive through Jacksonville, Florida and not cry the whole time and not shake. But in my imagination, I'm like Wonder Woman badass, and I kick his ass in an elevator and we're alone and I kill him. But chances are I'd, like, cower in the corner and be like, ah! I wouldn't have my Wonder Woman shield.
You could buy my Wonder Woman underwear.
I could. That would be great. But really, what it costs all of us is, what's a good way to put that? I want to say your sense of self, but it's really not your sense of self because that is who you are. Learning how to identify yourself without the anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, how do you overcome it? How do you push through? Because as you're becoming a young adult, you're going to at some point have to support yourself. Like, we had this talk the other day that you've got 6 years to figure out how you're going to make a living. So I have to sit in meetings across from people who cause my kids PTSD and severe anxiety. Well, you know what, sweetheart? That is what those fast-acting PTSD meds are for.
Xanax?
No, Adderall. Adderall is no, not Adderall.
I'm just like,
what? Wait, that's ADHD. Ativan. That's how I got through my entire divorce every time I had to see him. Good morning, Regina. So, you know, being able to, like, categorize it, but, like, as I was starting to say, 6 years, the other day I said, Liz, you've got 6 years, because we went to go get our prescriptions, and there was some mess up with the insurance, and it was like $5,000 worth of medications. I'm like, you need insurance. If the laws don't change, you've got 6 years. So I deal with fear by facing it head on, defeating it. That's right. Go, blue-haired woman. I just take that damn fear, grab it by the horns, and wrestle that fucker to the ground. That's what I do. I don't have time to deal with the other shit.
I do a little bit of both, depending on the moment.
Okay.
Sometimes if I'm feeling strong enough, then I can try and wrestle it down. And I'll wrestle it down for, like, halfway, and then I'll, like, freak out and run away.
Yeah.
And be like, this was too hard, I can't do it anymore.
Right, but think of it. Each time you do that, you build your muscles a little more.
And then I bring it down a little more.
That's right. So
it may be, like, that much.
But it's still that much more.
Still something.
And each time, you know what the great news is? Is you have 100% success rate. Like, she's still here. And there were days that she didn't have those. There were days that she had like a 50% success rate.
Not even.
Yes. So you have a 100% success rate for making it every day. So no matter what the challenge is, I know you can rise to it. And you're going to do it to the best of your ability in that moment.
Yeah.
But when it costs you, like I've watched it cost you friends.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched it
Ton of them.
Yeah, I've watched it cost you opportunities.
I can't even tell you how many good opportunities have come my way, and my anxiety has just kicked it in the ass. Be like, nope, you don't get that.
And it makes me
You
angry.
can't have that. You can't ever have that.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you're fucked in the brain.
Yeah.
Even with medication, it can still get the best of you.
Yeah. And even with diet, we've found diet, I've mentioned this before, and Liz has talked about this, diet is so important.
It is.
She doesn't want to always admit it, but
No.
she just did. Yay! Sorry, get a little excited
You
there.
didn't hear that from me.
No, you didn't. So you're going to hear from me. So not eating dyes, eating whole foods, not eating processed crap makes a big difference. Because when you don't have inflammation in the body, and guess what? Your brain's in your body. All right. I hate to tell you this, but if the rest of your body's inflamed, so is your brain because it's in there. All right. And if your intestines are inflamed, it's connected to your brain. So when you have all that inflammation,
Intestines are your second brain.
They
or
are.
your first, depending on how you look at it.
But it's if you're putting these things in your body and then expecting it to run well, it's not going to happen.
Or if you keep putting the bad things in, expecting good results, you're going to get the bad results because all you're putting in is the bad results.
Even if it's thoughts.
Yeah.
Even if it's just food. If your thoughts are constantly,
Negative.
I can't do this. And
I'm going to fail.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah, guaranteed you're going to. Because what you tell yourself is 100% true. So if you're going to tell yourself, I'm going to have a panic attack, you're going to have it. If you
I
tell
have a
yourself,
quote from Buddha.
Ooh, I like those.
What you think, you become.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I have that on a sticker.
Yes.
It's purple.
And it's true.
Awesome.
And that doesn't solve the anxiety disorder.
No.
That doesn't give you some magical thinking.
No, it's really, really, really hard to think positive when you're in an anxiety attack.
Yeah. And to think that you're going to survive it. And to pull through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've thought some days I would literally die from my anxiety. Like, I couldn't breathe. My heart was, like, either skipping beats or it was
Pounding
racing
so hard. Yeah.
so hard. I could hear it in my ears.
Yeah.
And I thought that my heart was going to explode.
Yeah. And there are some things, like, I put off starting Liz on medicine because it scared me. So Rachel says, advice for a child who is selective and resistant with a special diet.
Oh my god, that's me.
Have him be part of it. Your oldest, I know Rachel, is old enough, because he's Sarah's age, to sit down and explain what it does to him. So Sarah, when she chooses to have things that I know are going to set her off, we sit down and talk about it first. I'm like, okay, so these are the possible consequences of what's going to happen. Is having this worth the consequence?
And
Sometimes yes. Oftentimes no.
yeah.
Except if they're vegan marshmallows.
Man, she was down in those.
I know. But slow introductions, Rachel.
Yeah.
Not like, here's a whole plate of food that you should eat that you've never had before that you're probably not going to like. Because chances are he also has texture issues and SBD. And if you have sensory processing disorder, hello! Like, there are days I can't eat rice. I cannot eat balsamic rice because to me it looks like maggots and feels like maggots.
I can't eat that either.
It's like, it's just gross.
It
Okay?
is gross.
I can't handle it. But jasmine rice, I'm fine. I can't stand anything that's gritty. My husband can't stand anything that's slimy, like bananas or avocados. But he likes banana bread. Just thank you so much. He does, yeah. So when someone has sensory processing disorder, that will add to their anxiety when they go to eat.
Yep.
Okay? She can't stand the sound of people chewing and swallowing, which reminds me, yesterday Sarah and I went to the movies, and all I could hear was people chewing popcorn, and I couldn't figure out how you like going to the movies with Harrison if that's all you hear in the beginning before the movie starts.
Oh no, we're just on our phones before the movie
Okay, so you don't listen.
we
Okay.
just zone
So,
out.
like, there are times Elizabeth has to leave the table because she cannot stand the sound of swallowing or the sound of chewing.
It gets me angry.
Yeah. So, I would say another thing is also respect their boundaries and know what their triggers are, if you can, when it comes to their anxiety, because with SPD, food has its own anxiety. Because
Yeah.
is it going to feel good in my mouth? going to make me feel okay afterward? Is it going to upset my stomach? Is it going to get me a headache? And so you get into all this other stuff that starts ruminating, and like, boom, it's like this instant Tasmanian devil in the head. And they go from A to Z like that. Okay? So being able to bring that down and work with them and know, do they like crunchy? Do they not like crunchy? Is it soft or whatever?
And it can depend on the day, too.
And the moment of the day.
Yeah.
So communication's really, really important, because another thing that anxiety can cost you is your health. Like lack of hydration because you don't like the sound of swallowing. So being able to find what works for them. And it's constant. I mean, it like Elizabeth says, it changes from day to day, from moment to moment. It's always checking in. Hey, how are you feeling about this today? Where are you today? How can I help you through this? And remembering, honestly, as a mom, you have to honor yourself. You have to say when you've had enough. And you have to be able to, if you can, project like you know what's going to create an anxiety moment. I know for Elizabeth, talking on the phone, huge anxiety.
Yeah.
And she will like yell at me, and I'll have to look at her and be like, that's not okay. Here's my boundary. You're allowed to be frightened. You're allowed to have anxiety. You're allowed to communicate. You are not allowed to be abusive. And until you're ready, go to your room, because that's your safe place.
Yeah.
You can come out when you're ready to communicate in a way that is not abusive. Because when Elizabeth gets anxious,
I get angry and mean.
Yes. Sarah wants to climb back up into the womb. Elizabeth gets mean.
Do you know why I get mean?
Because that's a part of you?
No.
Because you're frightened? Fight or flight, and you choose fight?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I get angry because I'm anxious. Meaning I'm angry that I'm anxious.
Oh.
So,
breakthrough moment.
When I'm anxious, I get mad at myself for being anxious. And I get mad at myself for being in the situation that's making me anxious, and I get mad at myself for putting myself in the situation that makes me anxious. So I'm not angry at anyone except myself.
And I'm the safe one to take it out on.
Yes, because I know your reactions.
There you go. Take it out on Mom. Every time. She'll still love you.
Not every time. I don't take it out on you every time.
Well, that's because you're older.
Am I really, though?
By numbers, yes. Often, no. But we'll get there. Anyways, the whole thing is, look, anxiety is going to cost your child. And it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you friends. It's going to cost you opportunities. It's going to cost you your sense of self, your child's sense of self. Roll with it. And just know that through it all, if you love them unconditionally, they will make it through, and you will make it through. Self-care is uber important.
Yes.
Eating right, uber important. Hydrating correctly, not coffee all day, or green tea all day. Uber important. And work things in for yourself. And admit it's okay to be upset. Is this recorded so I can play it back? Yes, it is. Replay, absolutely. As soon as we hit publish, when we're done, you can listen to it anytime you want. And I actually go through, there's a little thing on the side that says videos on the left-hand side. So what I do is I go through after them and I put them in the category. So this one's going to be under mental wellness. Okay, so Mondays are always mental wellness. Tuesday is parenting. Wednesday, Thursday is homeschooling. So if you're looking for something, those are the categories that you can find it on right there. I'm not so good about always remembering to upload it to the YouTube channel. I'm getting there. It's just really time. Because like you, guess what I am? I'm a mom with kid with special needs. And I don't always get to it because I'm honest and not perfect. Oh, I was supposed to announce the winner of the 4-hour free consulting.
Ooh.
I know, I'm so excited.
Drum roll?
Yes, drum roll. Thigh roll. It's Rachel who was able to make it this morning. I'm so excited. So, for Rachel, you get, I feel like I should do like a Ginsu commercial. For 4 hours, you get Mary. One-on-one, once a week, for an hour, to discuss parenting, food, homeschooling, life. Just get some damn support, because holy crap, this is like crazy. We're going to go over the 12 steps to getting to a better relationship with yourself and with your child. And if you didn't win, you can get the 12-week course starting in June at half price. So if you go to maryharrington.com, that's with an E, look at it, check over the stuff that's being offered. There's books, there's best, oh, From Stress to Best, now 29 in the world. Didn't even know it. Oh, watch out, Major. All right, we got to go because the dog is about ready to walk into the lamp. Can you hop down and go get it? All right, I'll see you later. We're about to lose our lighting. Bye.
Bye.